We are going in depth this evening. We are learning more about a legal complaint filed against the federal government by the Pima County Attorney Laura Conover after a murder suspect was taken into federal custody against her wishes. So all of this stems from that terrifying crime spree back in Midtown back in June when an undocumented immigrant, Julio Cesar Aguirre, allegedly shot and killed a 69-year-old man by the name of Ricky Miller and threatened 6 other people with a gun. There have been new filings in court in this ongoing battle between the county attorney and Department of Justice. And News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter Chorus Nylander is live outside the federal courthouse to break all this down for us in the very latest. Chorus.
Monica, Pima County Attorney Laura Conover filed what is known as a writ of habeas corpus back in August, trying to have a federal judge here demand that the DOJ turn over Julio Aguirre to face state court to face the various charges he's been indicted on, including murder there. We now have the federal government's response to that request. Attorneys for the federal government filed the response last week, asking the judge to deny Conover's request because they argue there's no federal statute or constitutional provision requiring or even authorizing the federal court to order the DOJ to transfer its prisoner, Julio Aguirre, to state court for state proceedings. Conover, in her original complaint, argued that due to the DOJ's refusal to allow Aguirre to appear in state court to face his charges, her team's unable to prosecute him for those criminal charges. He's and also unable to preserve evidence. She submitted an exhibit September 12th with an affidavit from the daughter of 2 elderly victims that were allegedly held at gunpoint by Aguirre and ordered them to drive him to Nogales. The daughter says that nobody from the federal government has contacted them and they fear they will not get justice in their case due to the federal government's actions. Conover has repeatedly told us she believes the DOJ's actions are politically motivated.
I'm going to respond. And I'm going to stand up for our local people. Grief is not to be exploited for political gain.
But the DOJ doesn't see it that way. In its latest filing, it claims the reasoning has to do with concerns over the so-called pitfalls that could arise out of consecutive prosecutions and the differences in pretrial procedures between the state and federal courts. There is a hearing scheduled for Monday here at 1:30 where the judge is expected to make a ruling on this issue. We'll be there and keep you updated. Reporting live outside the federal courthouse in downtown Tucson, Chorus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.